Another slate of MLB action to break down here, and we have a couple of bets for you on Friday, June the 9th. My name is Steven Andress, joined by Nuwwarah, our senior MLB betting expert. We're going to break down two bets that Mo has for you today, also a couple of headline games in MLB that we'll break down as well. Mo, we're going to look at the Dodgers and the Phillies game and also the Astros at the Guardians. How are you, my friend? Rough day yesterday, but still, more than 13 units for the season here, profitable.
Yeah, not a great run lately. I think I've had like 6 straight losing days or something. Hoping to turn it around, but what are you going to do when the Astros play like absolute clowns? That was really frustrating to watch. They did everything possible to lose that game, and they were justly rewarded for their efforts, I think.
Yeah, a circuitous route to a ball in the outfield really cost them in that one. But we'll keep our eyes forward. We won't dwell on the past. This is why we always preach sound bankroll management. Same amount on every one of these MLB games so that over the course of the season, you can be profitable. Mo has employed that strategy, and we are sitting more than 13 units profitable right now. As always, you can go to the Discord channel at thelines.com, top right corner, hit that Discord button, go to the Rolls server, click on Mo's name, and you'll get push notifications to your Discord app each and every time he locks in his MLB bets to make sure you're getting the best of the money lines in these games. Also, fantastic MLB discussion going on in there. And if you're watching us on YouTube, go ahead, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Let us know what you are betting on the MLB today on Friday, and also maybe what you're looking at this weekend as well. Any futures you might be betting on. Last video yesterday, go take a listen. We talked a little bit about the Texas Rangers. Mo has an article up on the site right now breaking down the outlook for the Rangers with Jake DeGrom now on the shelf with Tommy John surgery for the second time. But let's get into the card here today for Friday, June the 9th. And Mo, we will start with the Phillies hosting the Dodgers. Michael Grove on the mound for the Dodgers, 0-2 with an 8.14 ERA. One of our personal favorites of the past couple of years, Ranger Suarez on the mound for the Phillies, off to a bit of a slow start, at least in terms of the surface level statistics, 1-2 with a 5.47 ERA. If we look at the odds for this one across sportsbooks as we record here around lunchtime Eastern time on Friday, really minus 110 both ways. Maybe a couple of shops here where the Dodgers have a little extra juice, but pretty evenly matched here in terms of the odds. What do you see here?
Yeah, tough start for a Ranger in terms of his results for sure, but 5.47 ERA, but I think that he'll be fine. Just looking at his peripherals, chase rate, pretty normal, velocity, normal, ground balls, pretty normal. So I think he's going to be fine. On the other side, Michael Grove, he's been incredibly unlucky for sure, 8.14 ERA, like you said, but I still think even with some regression, he still looks below average to me. I know that some of his metrics are pretty good. His call strike plus whiff rate is solid, and xERA thinks he's been about average. But he has a weak chase rate. His first strike rate is pretty bad, so he's fallen behind a lot of guys. And I think once he's doing that, he's having to throw his fastball a lot, and that's where pretty much all the damage is coming against him, I think, is the fastball has been kind of where opposing hitters have done a lot of good work against him. He's struggling a lot versus lefties too, and Phillies obviously have some elite ones: Bryce Harper, Kyle Schwarber, and just a lot of their lineup is hitting lefty in general. So it seems like a good matchup for them against Grove. I think it's tough to look at the splits in this small of a sample, but when you see his pitch mix, he's pretty fastball and slider heavy and doesn't really have a changeup yet. So that makes me think he is going to struggle against lefties going forward. I like the Phillies here. I had them a little bit bigger. Well, I shouldn't say favored. They're not favored, but like you said, it's close to even money. I had them more like minus 120. So yeah, anything minus 110 or better, I think is pretty good for them.
Yeah, I agree with you here. I like the idea of buying low a little bit. It's not a huge buy low, but a little bit on Ranger Suarez here. Sub 4 ERA last year in 29 starts. The year before that in 12 starts after starting the year in the bullpen and ERA under 2. You liked all his peripherals in those runs, and he's gotten back on track here his last 2 starts. That ERA we mentioned for this year, a lot of it comes from his first 3 starts where he gave up 3+ earned runs in each of those starts, but 2 quality starts back to back here since 6 2/3, 2 earned against the Mets, and then at Washington, only 1 earned over 7 innings in that start. So I'm with you on this. If I'm betting this one, I like the Phillies, and you are in fact betting this one and backing Philadelphia in this one at home in Citizens Bank Park. 7:05 first pitch East Coast time for this one. 5 minutes later is the first pitch for the Houston Astros at the Cleveland Guardians, Mo. And on the mound, we have Christian Javier, 7-1 with a 2.84 ERA for the Astros. And for Cleveland, Logan Allen, 3-2 on the year, 2.76 ERA. Back the Astros last night in a frustrating loss against Toronto. They're back on the road in a new series today against Cleveland. And you like Christian Javier to maybe get the win here, at least to have his team get the win at the end.
Yeah, this is a funny one for me because I definitely did not go into this matchup expecting to bet on Houston. They have a lot of disadvantages in this matchup specifically just because Christian Javier, I've talked about his splits before. He's really, really heavy on like handedness splits, super dominant versus right-handed batters. They can't do anything against him, but lefties do about league average damage against him, if I'm recalling right. Yeah, it's not a bad matchup for Cleveland, but that's why the line is so short.
Mm.
Um, Also, like Cleveland hits a ton of grounders. Javier thrives on weak fly balls. So just a lot of things pointing to Cleveland here. No Yordan Alvarez. And then still, even with all that, I'm still liking the Astros here. I just think the talent disparity is that big that I'm just going to take the discount on Houston. I know the people in the Discord were giving me giving it to me this morning about my Cleveland opinions. I can't ever win a bet on these Cleveland games, but I have been right about them overall. They haven't been good. And their offense has been terrible when I thought that they were so overrated by their results last year. One thing that is good for Javier, though, he is very, very fastball heavy, 60% fastballs almost. And Cleveland is terrible hitting four-seamers, so I'm hoping that's good enough for them here. Houston, they haven't hit lefties as hard as they hit them last year, but still a 108 WRC plus, still very good. So there's just a massive disparity in these offenses, even with Yordan not playing here. I think I think we can expect him not to play probably. They're probably going to be a little bit careful with him. He left the game early yesterday for people who didn't see that, but I still think this Astros lineup is way better than what Cleveland's got, and they have a slightly better pitcher on the mound. Logan Allen, very, very good. Don't have anything bad to say about him, really. But, yeah, still just a better lineup, better pitcher. I just can't get the Astros down to even money.
Yeah, if you look at the money lines across the sports books in the United States right now, we have a couple of spots where it's -110 both ways. That's the best price available on the Astros as we record right now, again around lunchtime on Friday. The other spots, they are up to 114, 115 on the money line here. So that's what we're looking at if you're price shopping around the Astros. Despite Cleveland being at home, I'll just add this little nugget here. They join only Kansas City and Oakland as the only teams in the American League without a winning record at home this year. So just because they're at home, they haven't exactly had a home field advantage this season as well. And I think that maybe goes to the offensive issues they've had this year, Mo. So let's move forward here. 2 other games that you wanted to touch on here, not ones you're necessarily betting on, but certainly games that caught your attention. An earlier first pitch here, 6:40 p.m. Eastern time, the Texas Rangers at the Tampa Bay Rays. Obviously, 2 of the strongest teams in the American League to this point in the season. For Texas, Andrew Heaney on the mound, 4-3 with a 4.03 ERA. And then Tyler Glasnow, no record so far this year with a 3.72 ERA. What caught your attention in this matchup?
Yeah, just a couple of big games I thought we'd talk about. For sure, these are going to be games that the casual baseball fan is going to be interested in and probably want to bet. As far as the Rays and Rangers, obviously this is like the two best American League teams so far. Um, Biggest thing I'm looking at in this game is going to be on the Rays side. Just want to see what Tyler Glasnow, where his talent level settles. Basically, he's always been a guy who's been extremely dominating in the peripherals, and that's kind of been the case so far early on. Again, getting absolute tons of swinging strikes and just not as many chases, but people are just having a hard time even hitting the balls he throws in the zone. He's always been like that, has struggled sometimes to manage contact, and he has a pretty hilarious 7.43 xERA. So,
Hmm.
uh, extreme amount of struggles managing contact so far, according to StatCast, even if it hasn't shown up in his ERA yet. So, curious to see where that goes. 95 mile per hour exit velocity looks like it's probably the root of that. But yeah, I had this one no value either way, not even a lean either way. So no wager for me here. But if Glasnow still keeps struggling and the quality of these offenses, maybe we could see some runs even in Tampa Bay's park.
Best available price on the Rays in this one, minus 165 over at BetMGM. You can get in the mid 140s, plus 140s if you want to back the Texas Rangers in this one. And last but certainly not least, Mo, is the matchup between the LA Angels and Shohei Ohtani on the mound. And let me pull up the other one here. Sorry, I just lost my spot. Luis Castillo, great pitching matchup with the Seattle Mariners going on the road to Los Angeles. Castillo 4-3 with a 2.55 ERA. Shohei Ohtani 5-2 with a 3.30 ERA. In addition to obviously his offensive prowess in the lineup as well. Fantastic matchup. I think this might be the best one of the day.
Yeah, definitely exciting one here. One that I'm definitely hoping the Angels can win. They've been on a little bit of a streak lately for me, giving me just a little bit of hope on
Yeah, a little
the
hope for the futures, man. A
a
little hope for
little
the
hope on
Angels'
the AL
futures.
West future. Yeah. Um, Especially with the Rangers losing DeGrom, I'm hoping
Yeah.
they can make a run here. But anyways, in this one, I had the Angels at minus 120. That's pretty much right where they are. So slight lean to the Angels at the current price, since the Mariners are obviously with the juice closer to even money. Ohtani, I do have him rated a little bit better than Castillo. I don't know what to do with Seattle's offense so far because they've been struggling. But on paper, this is still an offense that's not too much worse at all than the Angels, if even at all. Taylor Ward's been really bad, obviously, for the Angels, and just like their supporting players. Even Mike Trout hasn't been as good as he has been in the past after a really good start, first month or so. But they also have a couple of injuries in the Angels lineup. I'm seeing Anthony Rendon projected to be in there today. I think he's been missing a lot of games. But on the other side, you do have Julio Rodriguez actually hitting the baseball lately. So one that I'm definitely going to be interested in, and as a fan and as an Angels futures better, but I don't have a wager on it. But if people do want to bet this one, I would probably look at the Angels.
Yeah, Rendon played Tuesday and Wednesday. That was his first action since May the 13th. So he's getting back into the swing of things here for the Angels. And we'd be remiss without at least mentioning where Shohei Ohtani is in the AL MVP odds right now, as well as he's going on the mound and obviously in the lineup as well. Minus 155 is now the best price on Shohei Ohtani to win AL MVP. And Mo, are you of the opinion of many out there that this is as simple as if he doesn't get traded, he's the MVP?
Yeah, I think traded or hurt. Beyond that, he's going to be really tough to catch, especially Judge just went on the IL. He was definitely one of the contenders. Other than that, Yeah, I mean, Ohtani is just so good, and his team is actually like in contention this year, or at least playoff contention. And then you look at some of the best teams, like one thing that will definitely help some of these guys is being on the top teams, right? Like the Rays, the Rangers, but these teams are more egalitarian type of teams where multiple players are contributing on the pitching staff and the lineups. So with how big of a push Ohtani gives his team compared to some of these other guys, like his marginal wins that he's adding are so much bigger right now than anything that anyone else is adding, really, because of where the Angels are at in the contention curve. So that, I think, definitely helps perception of him. And obviously just being such a unique player is pretty big, because it's just hard to compare anybody else to him. So I do think it's definitely Ohtani's award to lose.
If for whatever reason they do fall out of contention, and the trade deadline isn't until August 1st, so there's a lot of games between now and then, and they do wind up trading him. And again, this is a total hypothetical situation. He's not If he gets traded to the National League, he can't win this award. If he gets traded to the American League, do you still eliminate him at that point? I don't think they would trade him. I think like the Dodgers and the Mets are probably the likely spots, but um, is he eliminated if he gets traded no matter what?
I wouldn't say no matter what. If he somehow landed in the AL, he might have a chance. If he were to be traded, I guess Yordan Alvarez, but I don't know, man. He is going to be out for like a month, I'm hearing, possibly with.
Yeah,
I think
right
he hurt his
now, in terms of
hamstring.
total WAR in the American League, Wander Franco, if this is Fangraphs WAR, total WAR, Wander Franco of the Rays is in first, Marcus Semien of the Rangers is in second, and then it's Shohei Ohtani, 3.2, 3.1, 2.9, just for reference there.
Yeah, that's definitely the first name that popped out to me was Wander Franco. I guess that would be a name I would look to if we were to think Ohtani wasn't going to be able to have a shot at this. If
And
the Orioles stayed in
you'd have to get to your sports book really quick if Ohtani gets traded, right? Because that number is going to move. He's 30-1 right now. Simeon's 30-1 at one spot still, mostly 22-1. So I mean, you really got to be on the ball in this case, because the books are going to slash these prices if Ohtani ever gets traded. And you mentioned
yeah,
somebody on the Orioles.
you would have to wait till like you would have to you would have to see them start to sink in the standings and then just make a wager way before the market moves. And then I
Yeah,
was gonna say maybe if the Orioles stay in contention, Adley Rutschman, I could see him making some noise. I mean, they're just so surprising that people are gonna want to latch onto the narrative of the Orioles being in contention out of nowhere.
yeah, for sure. I like it. Some names to look at there, but of course, if things stay optimistic for the Angels, which we would be happy about, as we're both holding Angels futures right now, then Ohtani stays put. He's likely the most likely winner here, obviously, for AL MVP, especially as Mo mentioned, with Aaron Judge missing some time here. Again, minus 155, the best available price on Ohtani to win AL MVP. That price both at BetMGM and FanDuel. As always, you can find the best sportsbook promos at thelines.com each and every day. You can find Mo's thoughts on MLB every day here on the YouTube channel. So be sure to hit the subscribe button there. Hit the like button. Let us know in the comments what you are betting on. Have a fantastic weekend. For Mo Nuwwarah, I'm Steven Andress. Eli Hershkovich will be back from vacation to be back here teaming up with Mo moving forward here for the rest of the season. We look forward to having him back after some well-deserved time off. And we will see you next time. Thanks for watching.